years ago, I did something kind of stupid. I bought my first motorcycle, I had no idea how to ride it, took my safety class, and failed. And had the worst anxiety I've ever had in my life. Here I am 8 years later, riding a beautiful Harley Davidson all over the country and riding over a dozen different kinds of motorcycles in my history. So how the hell did I do it? I'm actually going to explain that in this video. First things first, if you guys clicked on this video because you were trying to learn how to overcome motorcycle riding anxiety, I want you to know, please don't give up. This is a very natural progression if you were like me and you learned how to ride quote unquote later in life. Later in life to me is anything after 18 years old, honestly. I feel like so many people had a wonderful advantage of learning how to ride dirt bikes and motorcycles, mopeds when they were kids. And everything just comes so naturally to those types of people. I learned how to ride a motorcycle when I was 26 years old. Nobody in my family rode. I had never really been on the back of a motorcycle before, and it was just something I wanted to do for myself. So how did I overcome that severe, crippling, nauseating, and just absolutely defeating riding anxiety? The first thing I did, step one, I did not give up. And I really wanted to. When I failed my motorcycle safety foundation class, I didn't know what to do with myself. I thought I wasted all of my money buying a motorcycle that I obviously couldn't ride properly, and I was like, this is it. I just have to give up. This is my sign that this is too dangerous. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna get myself killed. So I need to give up. But I didn't. This was really something I wanted to do, and I knew I could accomplish it with enough time and practice. And in a day of modern technology when instant gratification is always at our fingertips, it's really hard to struggle and accept the fact that sometimes you're just not very good at something you really want to be good at. So I'm here to tell you, you can ride motorcycles. Please God, do not give up. If this is something you really truly want, keep going. Now that that's out of the way, first step, you're gonna need a bike. I highly recommend getting a very small motorcycle, something that is comparable to your body weight, something that is gonna get you enough power to get up and going. It's gonna sound counterintuitive, but I promise the faster you go, the easier it gets. And I'm talking 35 miles an hour fast, my friend. So there are so many different introductory, very lightweight, very fun motorcycles that are also very affordable. If you are looking for specific recommendations, I can recommend a Honda Grom, a Honda Monkey. I can recommend a Honda Shadow even. Mostly Hondas if you're picking up a trend here. Once you get into the Harley Davidson category, things are going to start getting more expensive, a lot heavier, with way more power than you're probably not ready for. And if you're into sport bikes, I'm sorry I can't help you with that because I don't know anything about sport bikes. Thing you're going to want to do, and it's going to feel really crazy, is you are actually going to just make a relationship. You're going to build a relationship with your motorcycle. You don't have to have it running. You don't have to be riding it, but you're going to name your bike and you're going to treat your bike like a member of your family, like a very good friend. Build a relationship with that motorcycle because it's actually going to trick your brain into thinking of it as an ally, as a friend, of somebody you want to spend time with. Think of it as your steed, you know, your noble horse. You're going to go ride your horse and your horse is going to take care of you and guide you in a safe path. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it really is going to help you establish a positive mindset when thinking about your motorcycle instead of being riddled with anxiety. All of my motorcycles have names. All of my motorcycles have a story. This is Appa. He is my beautiful 2018 Harley Davidson Road Glide Special, and I bought this motorcycle specifically to mimic the cartoon character Appa from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I can tell you right now, this is my favorite motorcycle because of the relationship I have with him and the stories that we've been able to make together. So that's definitely step 2, is develop a relationship. Truly feel like this bike is a part of you and a part of your family. It is an extension of your body. You literally have to use all 4 hands and limbs and all of your body to make this motorcycle go. And it's an amazing feeling once you make it go. So let's say you've built your relationship, you're building your confidence with your motorcycle and how you want it to take care of you and the things you want to do. You start daydreaming. You know, this is everything you've ever dreamed of as a rider, whether it's poker runs and bar hopping with your friends or just touring the country, Grand American touring, I don't care. You're going to start dreaming of those things, whether you want to or not. Unfortunately, that's how I got into motorcycles, is I did one too many daydreams and whoops, I was on Facebook Marketplace buying a Honda Shadow. But once you develop that relationship with your bike, you're actually gonna want to start riding it. And first things first, if you are on this video, I 100% recommend you don't do any of the things I'm telling you until you take a beginner riding academy. Whether that's the Motorcycle Safety Foundation, the Harley Davidson Riding Academy, there are so many other little privately funded academies. I don't care, take a class. Learn the proper in and outer workings of motorcycles, how they shift, how they ride, how it means to use counter steer. You are going to learn so much about riding. I know people who have been riding over 30 years and they took a beginner rider course and they learned more things in 2 days on a motorcycle than they ever knew in 30 years of riding. So 100% take a class. I will have some information linked down below if you would like to do more research on a class in your area. Take the class, learn how to ride first. Once you do that, I want you to either be on a very quiet area, a road, an alley, a parking lot preferred. And if you can't get your motorcycle there, have a friend ride it over for you. We all have to do it. We were not born on two wheels. The first thing you are gonna do, you're gonna go in straight lines, and then you're gonna make a turn and you're gonna come back and go in straight lines. I wouldn't even recommend getting out of first gear if you don't want to, but the first thing you are gonna do is you're gonna learn how to put your feet up. The quicker you can put your feet up on your pegs, your floorboards, whatever you're doing, the quicker you're gonna find your balance. And that is instantly going to instill confidence. It's gonna feel right. Remember when you were a kid and you were learning how to ride a bicycle? As soon as you got it, that very first feeling, it clicks. It snaps in your head and you're like, this is exactly what I should have been doing the whole time. Why was I so stupid and scared? A very, very natural reaction. Please don't feel like you are not doing enough. It took me years to be able to be confident enough on my motorcycle to really enjoy riding. So once you start doing your parking lot practice, I want you to do that every single day, if possible, every day for at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, every single day for at least 2 weeks. And you can practice your shifting, shift up and down. You can practice slowing down, speeding up, braking, clutch control, maneuverability. Do as much as you can in a parking lot. And then once you really know that bike very well, then you can start taking it out on the street. And if you don't have parking lot practice, if you live in a slow area, taking it out on the street is perfectly okay. It will be scary. You will stall in the middle of an intersection. You will probably dump your bike somewhere when you forget to put the kickstand down. There is no shame. 100% there is no shame. And if you ride with people that make you feel shameful or upset or just anything other than supported, find new people to ride with or ride by yourself like what I do. There is a natural progression to learning how to ride motorcycles. You can't just stop, you got to put your feet down. These things have to balance. So you're okay. It will be fine. Everybody does it. Ironically, I have dropped motorcycles way more in recent years than I ever did when I was learning how to ride. So it's not if, it's when, and you'll be fine. So once you become a little more accustomed to riding on the roads, you're going to get more accustomed to traffic patterns, how people drive, how people can or cannot see you. And it's a progression, but I just want you to keep practicing every single day if possible. So obviously if you just got your endorsement and you live in the winter states where you can't ride, it's okay. You can work on modifying your bike, build a relationship with your motorcycle, make it fit you, spend the winter modifying the bike and making sure that it's going to be perfect in the springtime when you get to go out there and all of us are starting over, man. We all got our baby legs in the springtime. Basically, what you're going to be doing with all of this information I'm giving you is you're going to be rewiring your thought process, and you're going to be thinking about riding a motorcycle as the number one thing you look forward to. That's me time. That's you time. It's you and your motorcycle. Even if your husband's there, if your wife is there with you, your son, whoever, no matter who's doing it with you, at the end of the day, it's you in that helmet and you twisting that throttle, and it's a very personal experience. So that's what we're doing. We are desensitizing your brain. We're rewiring it to think of motorcycle equals good, equals fun. We're having fun. I'm not anxious about it. And trust me, you will still have moments of anxiety. You will still have moments of fear. That's all in the sport of motorcycling. This is not for the average Joe. You know, you'll see a lot of bikers out there on the road, but you will always see more people in cars. This isn't for everybody. And so you should feel special that this is something you want to do. It is like a unique feeling, and like you're joining this club. And I hate to reference, clubs. This has nothing to do with clubs or MCs. It really is like a brotherhood and a camaraderie feeling. There is a family feeling about when you meet other riders, and it's like instantly welcoming. At least as my point of view, I've met a lot of different riders, and for the most part, the first thing people want to know if you ride is what you ride. It doesn't matter how long, how far you go. All they want to know is, cool, what bike do you have? At least that's the first thing I ask. I get stoked when I meet other riders. So all of these topics and these subjects for you to kind of like take back and practice, these are all things that I actually implemented into myself learning how to ride motorcycles. If you haven't heard the story before, I bought my motorcycle. My husband didn't ride, and while I was taking my motorcycle safety foundation class, he was at home with my bike drilling out the baffles in the exhaust to make it sound louder. And I failed my class. I was devastated. I think I cried for 12 hours straight and rethought every decision I've ever made in my whole life up until that point, until he came into the bedroom and said, "Hey, I think I got your bike done. Do you want to come listen to it?" And I was like, "No, I hate that bike. I can't ride. We're going to have to sell it. It's a, woe is me, the world is ending type of stuff." And he's like, "Come on, babe. Like, I worked really hard on this. I want you to hear it." And so I felt bad. And I was like, okay, fine. Stood outside in the garage, listened to him fire it up. And I literally stood there like a little 6-year-old with their arm crossed, glowering at my motorcycle. And finally I was like, if you do not hop on this bike right now and take it down the road, you will never get on this motorcycle again. And I know myself. I know my capabilities and my limitations, and I know my stubborn ass. And I knew if I did not get on that motorcycle right then and there and take it down the road, that I would never do it again. And that's what I did. And then every day after that, I took it out every single day and I practiced. Within a few months, I was confident enough to take it on the highway, like the interstate. Oh, and I did. I practiced enough and I got my endorsement 2 weeks later. So I did get my endorsement. I am legally licensed to ride a motorcycle now, but it was very scary. And I really reconsidered everything up until that point. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I thought I had made a terrible mistake. It's kind of like the 7 stages of grief. I think there's 7. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's just, that's exactly what it felt like at the time. So I want you to know I'm here for you. Even though I've been riding a little over 8 years, I still consider myself a very new rider, an inexperienced rider. I learn more and more things every single year. I would love to have you here with me on the channel. If you like motorcycle travel and all things 2 wheels, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you found value in this video, I love having these types of conversations. I really love understanding the inner workings of the mind and how people feel a certain way, and like why we all do kind of have these waves of emotion when it comes to motorcycling. I don't really have these feelings when I think of my car or my truck or my house. It's like motorcycling is absolutely an emotion, and there is nothing wrong with having highs and lows. That's what makes it all part of the process. So I'm going to ask you this right now. If you're watching this video, if you have a motorcycle, what is your motorcycle's name? I have multiple motorcycles. I have Appa, my Harley Davidson, Knox, my Harley Davidson, Toff, my Royal Enfield, and Dolly, my BMW. And they all mean something to me, like so deeply in my heart. So I'd love to know the name of your motorcycle. If you guys enjoyed this ride with me, please give the video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's completely free if you haven't done so already. I actually know over 50% of you watching are not subscribed. If you subscribe, it really helps show YouTube that we're on the right track. I would love to get my videos in front of more moto-curious people out there. And obviously, if you know somebody who is going through anxiety on their motorcycle, please consider sharing this video with them. And I'm always down to have these conversations with you guys. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as you have in the comment section, and just keep going. That's all it is. Just keep going and have fun with it. Make it a happy time for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until my next one, as always, you be good, ride motorcycles, and I'll see you later.